everybody, here's what's coming up tonight on Now. There was an arrest yesterday in Sanford of a drug dealer who was selling allegedly in a school zone. We'll get the community's reaction. I'll give you a hint. They're pretty happy about the arrest.
Plus, a fallen Marine coming home to Bethel. On the same day, the remains of a World War II veteran come back into Maine.
Also, a device to help track elderly people with dementia. We'll have live guests in studio to take your questions.
This is News Center now.
Finally, people are taking this problem seriously.
Families in Sanford are taking back their community, working together to get drug dealers off of the streets.
That story in a moment, but first, two service members who made the ultimate sacrifice are coming home. A fallen Marine from Maine is making his way home to Bethel tonight. Captain Ben Cross died in August when an Osprey helicopter crashed off the coast of Australia. He just landed in Boston. He will be escorted home by fellow Marines. We'll have much more on that coming up tonight.
Live picture right there out of Logan Airport. Well, hello, welcome to the program, everybody. I'm Lee Goldberg.
And I'm Amanda Hill. So evidence of the ongoing heroin crisis all around us, we know that. And one woman in Sanford says she sees it all the time right in front of her home. And she lives across the street from an elementary school.
Yeah, that's a pretty scary part of the whole thing, because dealing with drugs within 1,000 feet of the school is a much more serious crime. According to the Maine criminal law, it bumps the offense into a new category, aggravated drug trafficking. That goes for dealing drugs on a school bus as well and selling to minors.
Dealers convicted of aggravated trafficking are almost guaranteed to serve some time. A spokesperson for the Maine Attorney General's office says aggravated trafficking has a 4-year mandatory minimum sentence.
But that hasn't stopped these criminals. In fact, yesterday, Sanford police arrested a man that they say was carrying heroin and cocaine. The arrest happened less than 1 block from Lafayette Elementary School.
Yeah, the community members and activists who took a stand in that area hope this is the first of many victories in the fight against the drug epidemic in their area.
Yeah, we measured it. It's 173 feet from the corner of the school's fence to the corner of that apartment building.
And it's at that apartment building where police arrested 33-year-old Joshua Norda of Sanford yesterday for aggravated trafficking of scheduled drugs within 1,000 feet of a school zone. That's a Class A crime. It's also a small victory for Carrie Zelke, who has spearheaded a neighborhood movement to get rid of drug dealers.
We're cleaning up the neighborhood, even though it was only one of the dealers. One is a start, and it's not going to be just this area. Hopefully it's all of the dealers, and they realize that they're not going to be tolerated and accepted in the community.
Certainly one of the individuals that we arrested yesterday was a key player here.
Matthew Jones is a sergeant with the Sanford Police Department and says yesterday's arrest sends a strong message.
It's a slap in the face for somebody to be dealing drugs, you know, in the backyard of a school, essentially. It's unacceptable. If people want to deal and sling drugs in that neighborhood, well, they're 1,000 feet within a school zone. So it could be a pricey lesson for them to learn.
Head dealer of the area came and ripped them down, shredded them, threw them in the yard.
As for Carrie Zelke, her signs have been destroyed multiple times by dealers. She says she's been screamed at and threatened, but is staying focused on continuing the fight to help clean up her neighborhood.
I'm not scared of them.
Community members are hoping that yesterday's arrest is just the beginning. Carrie Zelke has teamed up with the Patriot Riders and Second Chance Soldiers, which are a pair of bike groups, to help spread awareness in the community. They're planning a large rally in Sanford, which they're hoping will encompass more of the town and any neighborhoods that are struggling with drug use and drug deals running rampant. All involved are aware the fight will be a long one, but well worth it.
Well, there's a lot more work to do, and we're sitting here. We're making plans. We're gonna do one dealer at a time. We know when we get one down, another one's could pop up somewhere else, but we're gonna be right there ready for them.
I think law enforcement and federal resources are inundated with calls from people because it is such an epidemic. So I think it's really up to the community to come together and take a stand and start bringing awareness to the subject so that things like this don't happen.
No date for that rally yet, but we will keep you updated, of course.
All right, don't put your swimsuits and your shorts away yet because it's going to be hot this weekend.
Yeah, Jess Conley joins us with a first look at the forecast.
Hey guys, yeah, that's exactly right. It looks like it's going to stay pretty nice right through the weekend, feeling kind of more like summer than like almost fall. I guess technically we're not into fall yet. Let's not rush it, right? These are the high temperatures from today. 84 the high today in Bangor. Usually we're around 71 degrees, about 13 degrees above normal for this time of year. We even made it to 80 in Portland, which is kind of tough to do at some points along the coast. 74 the high today in Rockland, a little cooler there. Bar Harbor made it up to 78, Augusta and Lewiston both making it up to 81 degrees. Just a gorgeous day. We saw more sunshine. Looks like some clouds on the way for tomorrow, but the temperatures will stay pretty nice as we go through the weekend. Right now, still gorgeous out there. A little bit of a sea breeze, though. Look at Rockland, already cooled off to around 68 degrees. Here's a look at the current satellite radar. Now, you'll notice these clouds really starting to move in from southwest to northeast. We'll continue to see the clouds increase as we go through the overnight hours. A little bit of moisture off to our south and west. Looks like a couple chances for some showers as we head into tomorrow, guys, but then the weekend, it's going to make everything feel much better. Guys?
We're not talking about amnesty. We're talking about taking care of people that were brought here, people that have done a good job and were not brought here of their own volition. But very importantly, what we want, we have to have a wall.
President Donald Trump and top Democrats may be close to a deal on DACA and border security. The president repealed an Obama-era rule that allowed children who were brought into America illegally to stay under certain criteria. The president now saying he would consider a deal to reinstate DACA if the southern border wall construction moves forward.
Still to come on Now.
You see here it's sunt reliquiae ex vestimentis. This means that there are relics of Saint Peter.
Are some of the remains of an apostle hidden away in a closed-down church? We will look into the mystery.
And sheriff's deputies say this device could save the life of an elderly relative. We'll explain how it works right after the break. Doctors and healthcare workers treating Mainers who suffer from Alzheimer's are getting some help from the federal government. Senators King and Collins announced today that Maine Health will receive a grant of more than $950,000 to help caregivers and other healthcare services. Senator Collins says about 27,000 people in Maine are living with Alzheimer's, and that number is just expected to keep on climbing. Now, when you care for a family member with dementia, there's always a worry that they could get lost or wander off, and police officers and game wardens all over the state know what it's like to search for that missing elderly person. Now, sheriffs in Cumberland County have a device that could make that search much easier. We have Sheriff Joyce and Deputy Schnupp today. Thank you both for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
This is quite a thing going on here. Kind of explain
is.
what this is, because it's not just for elderly people.
New technology. It's what we call Project Lifesaver. We purchased it through a grant, and we're going to be offering it to anybody that has a chance of potentially wandering away, whether it be autistic children, kids, people with dementia, Alzheimer's, anybody that's got a prone to wandering away. People can sign up for this program. We will put a monitor type thing on them where if they wander away, we get called through 911. Somebody will come out with this detector and they'll turn it on, and it makes a beeping sound when it gets close.
Okay, you were just kind of explaining to me in the commercial break there that even if it is a child with autism, you can attach this to something that they're very familiar with, something they carry with them.
You can put it in their jackets if that's the case, or a stuffed animal. The reason we have this is this. We often get calls with people wandering away, and we just flood the woods, the areas, the fields, and we try to look for them, or we call in a canine. Sometimes these people, they'll hide because they're not sure what they're doing. So this provides us with another tool that we can come in, show it around the house, see if it's picking up any frequency. We can put it on the car with an antenna, and it will track up to 3 miles. And Cumberland County being so wooded and waterlogged, quite frankly, with its lakes and rivers, it's our big fear that somebody's going to wander off and tragic things are going to happen.
So for anyone interested in getting involved in this, how much does it cost for them right now, and how do they sign up?
The cost of this for the caretaker is $250. And then what we will do once they sign up, We will do an evaluation. There has to be somebody that is available 24/7 to watch them, somebody that's going to call 911 if they wander away. And then Deputy Schnupp will go out, he'll do some paperwork. We put their name and telephone number and a photo inside our database. We put one of these on them and then we leave. Every 30 days we will come out, we'll replace the battery, check the strap. We'll take that at our cost. So really it's once you make the first initial purchase, we take care of it from there.
Everything's good. Yeah, that sounds great. Sounds. You guys were testing this earlier today. How did it work out?
We gave a reporter one of these on a stuffed animal, and she went and hit it. And then Deputy Schnupp went out with the finder and the Project Lifesaver, and he found it right off. So.
It looks kind of funky, but it worked out well.
It works really well. We really like it. It's a great tool for us to have. It's one more tool in our toolbox, and this works in any kind of weather. Where GPS tracking systems don't work well if storms, if power goes out. This and this are connected. There's nothing in between. There's nothing to fail.
Huge. Great. Guys, thank you so much for coming in and explaining this.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Lee?
All right, guys, thank you. What's the secret to a long life?
I was 100 in May. Most people think I'm older.
Was it something you wanted in life, to be 100?
Not particularly.
Talking to members of the Centenarian Club about loving life for more than 100 years. And we might have a beautiful weekend coming up, but we've got to keep an eye on Tropical Storm Jose. Look at Jess, she's very serious. Coming up. Whether you're a history buff or a religious person or you just kind of like a good mystery, you will want to watch this story.
It's actually really interesting. Yeah, bone fragments hidden away in this tiny church may belong to one of Jesus's 12 apostles. Keir Simmons has the mystery from Rome.
In the ancient city of Rome, a chance discovery and a mystery perhaps only the Pope himself can resolve. On a quiet street in a forgotten church, closed for 35 years, a worker found what may be bone fragments belonging to St. Peter.
Nobody in Rome knows this church because it was always closed.
St. Peter was one of Jesus' 12 apostles. Known as the first pope, Catholics believe his spirit guards the gates of heaven. 9 pieces of what are thought to be his bones, rarely seen in public, are entombed at St. Peter's Basilica, where millions pay pilgrimage every year. Yet at the entrance to this small, unassuming church, a plaque claims Peter's remains are here.
Peter, here. Petrus, yes. You see here it's sunt reliquiae ex vestimentis. This means that there are relics of Saint Peter. Not that all the body of Saint Peter was here.
They were hiding in plain sight.
Yes, they were hiding in plain sight.
It's on a plaque. Inside, the priest shows us to the altar and the Roman-era pot that was discovered here by accident. Scratched into the lid, the name of several saints, including Peter.
What was inside the pot?
There are relics of Peter and other 2 martyrs.
Bones?
Yeah, bones, yes, little bones.
Did this church hold a secret for 1,000 years? The bones, relics, placed here, some believe, by an early pope to assert his authority during a religious feud. Now Pope Francis must decide whether to compare the fragments to the bones at the Basilica.
And I was here back in 2013 when they selected Pope Francis. Since then, he has modernized, he has made decisions that have echoed around the world. And yet, think about this, this secret, this decision that is now waiting for him was just around the corner and dates back 2,000 years. How about that? Back to you.
All right, there was a memorial service for country music star Troy Gentry in Nashville this afternoon. He was one half of the duo Montgomery Gentry. He was killed last week in a helicopter crash. Montgomery Gentry was slated to perform this Saturday as the headliner for the Oxford County Fair. Organizers do now have a replacement. Happy to announce Randy Hauser will hit the stage Saturday night. So glad things worked out for them. They finally got a replacement headliner.
And they will have a beautiful night for a concert.
Yeah, they will. The weekend is just fabulous. The timing on the temperatures, it looks like we'll see some sunshine, so it's looking pretty good. But then we have something else to talk about too. So I know, let's start with the good stuff, right? Not too bad out there today. Pretty nice temperatures. We still have mostly clear skies. We're starting to see those clouds move in from southwest to northeast. That'll be the trend as we go through tonight and into the day tomorrow too. There's some moisture off to our southwest from what was once Hurricane Irma. It looks like it'll bring us a couple showers, maybe a few overnight tonight, then another few showers tomorrow afternoon. Nothing that should ruin your day as far as the weather goes if you have plans outside. I know we do need the rain too, so some of those showers will definitely be beneficial to us. But again, you can see that rain and the clouds off to the south and west. So a few more clouds increasing for the day tomorrow, but then as we get into this weekend, it is looking fabulous. Let's talk about tomorrow first. Starting the day in the low to mid 60s, a few showers around. You can see them in far western Maine. Central and southern Maine will have the best chance of seeing some showers as we go through the day tomorrow. Temperatures should warm up tomorrow into the low to mid 70s. So another day with temperatures at or a couple degrees above normal. It's looking pretty good. Then as we get into the day on Saturday, look at where we're starting at 9 o'clock Saturday morning. Temperatures already in the mid to upper 60s. We should warm up to upper 70s, lower 80s for the day on Saturday. Look at this, gorgeous. We'll see some breaks of sunshine too. An isolated shower is possible across northern Maine, but that's about it. All right, let's talk about Jose now because things are getting a little bit more interesting for us here in New England. Jose now downgraded from last night to a tropical storm. Winds are sustained at 70 miles an hour, gusting up to 85. You can see it's still pretty disorganized, right, just by looking at it. However, it is expected to strengthen as we go through the next couple of days, and it could again become Hurricane Jose. You can see what the models are doing now. They're really starting to come into agreement, and when that starts to happen with models, that's when meteorologists get a little more confident in the forecast. It looks like it's going to take a turn to the north as we go through the beginning of early next week. Some of the models, though, do have it making landfall along the east coast. Of course, that's concerning. Some of them have a very close brush with New England, so we'll keep watching that. Here's the official forecast track. This is from the National Hurricane Center. This just updated at 5 o'clock. Again, they still have it making that northward turn, but as a Category 1 hurricane as opposed to a tropical storm. It gets pretty close to our area. Their forecast only goes out for 5 days. So if you've been wondering why we've been having so many, this is the percentage of storms per month, named storms, that's tropical storms or hurricanes. September is the biggest month with about 34% of named storms falling in that. So we still have quite a bit of September to go. Marine forecast for tomorrow looks good. Seas at 2 to 4 feet, winds becoming southeast as we head into tomorrow afternoon. Look at the forecast for the weekend. I love it. Mid 80s both Saturday and Sunday. It looks great. Low to mid 80s. A mix of sun and clouds both days. We'll see increasing clouds as we head into next week, and temperatures get a little closer to normal for Monday and Tuesday. And then we are watching Jose for the Tuesday, Wednesday, and into Thursday time period. Something to keep an eye on for sure, and we definitely are. We're all texting about it. But we'll keep updating you as it gets closer.
Can you do that again? You're all doing what?
We're all texting about it. Yeah. That's what we're doing.
Enjoy the weekend.
Yeah, definitely. It looks
beautiful.
great.
All right, it was certainly a sunny day today for bikers who are making their way throughout western Maine, exploring the different peaks that our beautiful landscape does have to offer.
Yeah, but to enjoy today's stop, they had to bike 65 miles first. Oh, by the way, Zach Blanchard has been keeping pace with these cyclists and joins us from Weld. How's that sort of vacation going, Zach?
Haley and Amanda, hey, it's not half bad. I get to drive instead of pedal, and it's mainly because of views like this that you really get to take it all in. But there's one group of kids that have been going along with the bikers, and they're not on vacation at all. Although they're missing school, they've been hard at work. A number of kids from the Katahdin Middle and High School in Stacyville have been following the bikers around from town to town all week, and they've been a really important part of setting up and taking down nearly 80 tents at every location, as well as packing up the bags and gear. And it's all to raise money for their outdoor education program, allowing them to be outside and experience the natural beauty of the state, as well as gain some real-world skills. And the kids I spoke to say this week has been a pretty cool experience.
It's actually really fun because you get to meet a lot of people.
They're learning a lot about volunteer work, working with the communities, you know, doing something for somebody other than themselves.
And that's really what this is all about, is connecting these more than 400 bikers with these communities throughout the state. Now they hit the road again tomorrow morning, making the 51-mile journey from Hartford to Farmington, and of course, we'll be along for the ride. Lee and Amanda.
All right, Zach. Yeah, driving way easier than biking. That much.
Yeah, but what a beautiful trip.
It is beautiful.
Yeah. All right.
I can't do it.
I don't think I could either.
I don't think I could either.
So we're
not that many days.
Cindy has a preview of what's coming up.
That's right, guys. Coming up on News Center at 5:30, we're going to have the latest on the Marines, the fallen Marines whose remains are being escorted back to Maine today. We're also going to meet a cyclist who is recovering after he was blindsided by a hit-and-run driver. He's back on the road again thanks to a very generous gift. And she is the total athlete. Swimming, biking, running. She travels the world competing on the international level. Those stories and much more coming up in the next half hour.
All right, that's at 5:30. News Center Now continues after the break. All right, it's a pretty exclusive club, and there is only one way to get an invitation. You have to live to be 100.
Oh, by the way,
I'm
no
closer
big deal.
than you are right now.
Well, yeah,
I am.
But at a retirement home in Michigan, there are 10 men and women who are now card-carrying members, and even though they have more than 1,000 years of wisdom between them, that's pretty impressive. They aren't really sure if there is actually a secret to living a long life.
Happy birthday to you.
Where would we be if we didn't have these wonderful people that have lived life, have been there and done that? My name is Dan Gowdy. I'm the Vice President of Development at Sunset. Where would we be as a community if we didn't have that perspective?
She is an inspiration to all. Happy birthday.
Sunset Retirement Community in Jenison has 10 residents who are age 100 or older, and this party is for them.
I was 100 in May. Most people think I'm older.
Was it something you wanted in life, to be 100?
Not particularly.
Never given a thought, to tell you the truth.
You smile for the camera?
The oldest in the group of 10 is 105. 3 youngsters are just 100.
My name is Lorene Evoy. I am 104 years old. There isn't any secret. I mean, you just live one day at a time. You know. You take it as it comes.
Everybody wants to know what the secrets to a long, happy life are.
Don't die.
Good advice.
Happy birthday, Bernice.
The 10 centenarians have lived through the Great Depression, World Wars, raised families, buried spouses and children.
We have our ups and we have our downs. If you're down, you can't stay down there. You gotta pick yourself up.
Never stop dancing.
That's right.
The residents who've lived a century or longer say they reflect on the past.
Think about when you did this many years ago and the fun.
But also say they anticipate the future.
I'm going to be with the Lord. That's my future.
Whatever God gives you, you take.
Happy birthday to you.
Okay, great harmonizing.
I mean,
there.
and that healthy and happy, keep going.
They all looked
Why
great.
stop now?
Yeah, congratulations
Absolutely.
and happy birthday.
All right, News Center at 5:30 starts right now.